Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna be talking about one of the most underrated anime series out there, whose anime title had to be changed in other countries for copying a real British musician, Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. Now, before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Let's get it. Beck Mongolian Chop Squad is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Harold Sakuishi. The manga was serialized in Kodansha's monthly shonen magazine from 1999 till 2008, with a total of 34 collected volumes. The anime adaptation was produced by Madhouse and aired on TV Tokyo from October 6, 2004 to March 30, 2005. Beck's English dub first premiered in Canada on Much Music from March 9, 2007 until June 3, 2007, and later in the USA on the Funimation channel, totaling 26 episodes. So, let's get into the story. At the age of 14, Koyuki Tanaka, already consumed by a sense of wandering, drifting through middle school with no clear purpose or passion. He questions whether there's anything beyond his regular life routine, fearing that he'll never break out of his basic bored life. One day, an unexpected encounter changes the course of his life forever. Koyuki crosses paths with Ryusuke Minami, a talented young musician returning from America, and it is through Ryusuke that Koyuki's view of the world starts to shift. Initially, Koyuki sees Ryusuke playing alongside his temporary band in a cramped live house, an intimate music venue that leaves Koyuki both thrilled and uneasy. He's amazed by the power of live music and the unfiltered energy on stage, yet he's also rattled by the intensity of the experience. Still, amid the feverish atmosphere of the passionate crowd, the youthful electricity in Ryusuke's performance awakens something deep inside him, a flickering curiosity that he can't quite name. Soon, Koyuki finds himself learning more about music under Ryusuke's quiet mentorship. In the process, Koyuki meets Maho, Ryusuke's younger sister, whose effortless confidence and sharp demeanor leaves him both fascinated and a little nervous. Over time, Maho's teasing, kindness, and honest feedback pushes Koyuki to explore guitar playing, particularly as she points out the potential in his voice. Ryusuke, always on the lookout for new talented musicians, suspects Koyuki might be an ideal lead vocalist for the band he plans to form. But Koyuki's crippling self-doubt threatens to derail him at every turn. Meanwhile, Koyuki's world expands further when he meets Beck, Ryusuke's oddly patched up dog, who seems to mirror the offbeat swag Ryusuke has. Determined to overcome his insecurities, Koyuki picks up a guitar for the first time. But the learning curve is steep. His fingers hurt and the music theory really throws him off. Luckily, he discovers a mentor in the unexpected form of Mr. Saito, an older man who whips him into shape both musically and athletically. Between Saito's unorthodox training, which includes swimming lessons and a barrage of tough tasks, and Maho's more relaxed pointers, Koyuki suddenly begins to navigate chords and scales. Although progress is uneven, it's marked by small victories, such as being able to strum a few notes of a beloved tune without fumbling. Skipping ahead, an incident threatens to shatter his newly formed friendship with Ryusuke, as well as Koyuki's budding enthusiasm for music. A petty beef escalates to a misunderstanding, setting back Koyuki's progress. Just when he fears he might lose everything he's begun to cherish, help arrives as Maho nudges the guys to reconcile, and the two teens realize how important they are to each other's musical growth. The reconciliation gets them playing together again. Soon, Ryusuke, alongside an upcoming rapper named Chiba and an exceptionally skilled bassist named Taira, come together to form a band. Their spirited debates about a band name eventually come to a single word: Beck. Partly a nod to the dog, who's kind of like their quirky mascot, and partly a reflection of the raw and unfiltered identity they hope to present to the world. As the summer comes close, Koyuki's guitar training intensifies. While the band's new members come together, each staking out their territory in the group, Koyuki grapples with stage fright and the feeling of imposter syndrome, making him nervous to play with these more experienced musicians. Maho notices both his genuine talent and his anxious temperament and insists he try singing for the band. When he timidly offers his voice during a rehearsal, the entire room goes silent in awe. Even Taira, who's low-key a little bit skeptical, admits that Koyuki's voice stands out from the crowd. This acceptance from the rest of the group acts as a catalyst, and Koyuki starts to believe in himself more. In the meantime, Koyuki's school life is also undergoing a transformation. A new teacher arrives, and choir practice becomes mandatory for the class. Suddenly, he finds himself chosen as a leader for the upcoming choir contest. Despite his reluctance, he starts to recognize how leadership, music, and friendship kind of intertwine. At the same time, he forges an unexpected bond with Saku, another student who shares his love for music. They become good friends, and Saku's laid-back support helps Koyuki find his footing when he's unsure of his capabilities. Just as he begins to balance band practice and academics, Koyuki fumbles into a life-changing opportunity. He ends up guest singing with the famous rock group Dying Breed when they tour Japan. This event cements his belief that he might truly have what it takes to pursue music seriously. In the midst of all this excitement, romance begins to bloom as Koyuki shares a midnight swim and a kiss with Mao, and the relationship begins to grow from shy feelings shared around jokes and the occasional jam session into a more layered romance punctuated by a few misunderstandings and eventually reconciliation. With his confidence now boosted, Koyuki joins forces with Saku and the other classmates to form a temporary band for the school's cultural festival. They call themselves Ciel Bleu, French for blue sky. And while the arrangement is mostly for fun, it's also a way for Koyuki to hone his musical chops outside of Beck. After this, troubles at schools start to arise, including an ongoing rivalry with a snobby student named Hyoto, who looks down on Koyuki and resents his close relationship with Mao. Hyoto tries to sabotage Ciel Bleu's practice sessions, but Koyuki and his friends push through, finding motivation in the simple joy of purely playing music together. After this, as Beck's momentum increases, Ryusuke reveals that he has a famous guitar known as Lucille, which carries several bullet holes and a storied past linked to the chain of the dangerous people in the music scene. This revelation hints at the trouble that lurks behind Ryusuke's ambitions. The band then sets its sights on cutting a record to land a deal in America, but the stress of recording, combined with each member's personal life, starts to draw cracks in their friendship. Koyuki, plagued by self-doubt, battles a fever, yet still attempts to keep up with the band's demanding schedule. In a delusional dream, he imagines the band reaching for the stars and performing for a crowd that includes their musical idols. Eventually, Beck manages to put out an indie record that gains some traction overseas. This sparks the interest of Frank Albin from Chicago Records, who hints at a potential breakthrough for the band. Meanwhile, friction with Beck continues to simmer. While Taira is fully committed to the band, Chiba sometimes feels overshadowed and seeks side gigs to hone his rap skills. Ryusuke grapples with unspoken anxieties about Lucille and the menacing figures who might be looking for it. And sure enough, one day a dangerous man named Leon Sykes arrives in Tokyo, pressuring Ryusuke to return the guitar under threat of violence. The tension escalates to the point where Ryusuke is kidnapped, and he meets John Lee Davis, a legendary blues musician and uncle to Leon Sykes, which grants Ryusuke a chance to prove his worth through a jam session. Moved by his musical talent, Davis convinces Sykes to spare Ryusuke's life, though Sykes keeps Beck, the dog, and Lucille as collateral, intensifying Ryusuke's desperation. Not long after, the manager of the Grateful Sound Festival, Kazuo Sato, recognizes Koyuki from footage of the Dying Breed tour. She eagerly invites Beck to perform at the sprawling music event, but there's a catch. A rival act led by the arrogant Yoshito and a hip-hop performer managed by Sykes will also appear. More importantly, Sykes is willing to let Beck perform only if Ryusuke forfeits any further conflict over Lucille if they fail to beat the competition. Pissed off, Ryusuke accepts, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation where Beck must wow the crowd or risk losing it all. Grateful Sound kicks off in a flurry of excitement with 3 stages hosting performers day and night. The rival band commands the main stage, while Sykes' rapper dominates the second stage. Beck is relegated to the smallest stage, battered by rain and overshadowed by the bigger acts. When tensions peak during rehearsals, Chiba storms off, fed up with Ryusuke's unyielding demands and the gloom of their impending failure. Taira and Saku search for their missing vocalist, while Koyuki grows more determined to keep the show alive. As thunder booms overhead, Koyuki steps onto the third stage with an acoustic guitar. Risking ridicule from the thinning crowd, he begins a stripped-down cover song, gradually capturing the attention of passerbyers. Maho watches anxiously as Saku joins Koyuki on the drums. Their raw but heartfelt performance begins drawing more and more people away from the other stages. Encouraged by the audience's growing enthusiasm, Taira hops on with a bass lines. Ryusuke then races to the stage with Lucille, returned by Sykes at the last moment, and plugs it in to unleash his electrifying riffs. In a dramatic turn, Chiba finally appears. having escaped his ill-fated kidnappers, and roars onto the stage to rap with a signature intensity. The cohesive force of Beck's performance, combining rock, rap, and Koyuki's soulful voice, becomes an unstoppable wave of energy. The crowd swells beyond anyone's expectations, overshadowing both of the other acts. It's a triumphant demonstration of musical synergy, passion, and musical genius. But it is also their last show together, at least for a time. In the aftermath, Sykes is arrested and the band's immediate danger is gone, eventually leading everyone to drift apart. Chiba contemplates running a ramen shop, Taira joins another band, and Saku prepares to move to a different school. Koyuki is left feeling directionless once again, even as he is scouted by Sykes' associates to become a solo star. However, being truly loyal to his friends, he declines, longing for the chemistry that they once shared. Finally, he decides to track down each member of Beck to rekindle that spark. One by one, Koyuki persuades them to come back, convincing even Taira and Chiba that the magic they created cannot be replaced in any other group. The only missing piece is Ryusuke, who has gone to New York City to play music on the streets in search of new inspiration. By a twist of fate, John Lee Davis appears, offering Ryusuke guidance and help. Beck then receives an invitation to tour in the United States, where they cross paths with Ryusuke in Seattle. Reunited, they perform again, brimming with the gritty determination that first fueled their band. As the stage lights shine on them in America, Koyuki, Ryusuke, Chiba, Taira, and Saku are finally back together, stepping boldly into an unknown but new future. One shaped by their own songs, the lessons they've learned along the way, and the unbreakable bond forged by their shared love of music. And that's the end of Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. Yo, this theme song, the opening, was one of the hardest ever. I loved watching this show when I was younger. Honestly, this is one of the shows that made me first fall in love with music too. With that being said, if you're loving the channel so far, hit that join button to become an S-rank supporter. Get badges, exclusive polls, and priority replies, all while helping me keep this content coming. Appreciate you, and thanks for joining the membership. Don't forget to slap that like button, click subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another update. Until next time, peace.